Recording in progress.
Good morning.
Good morning. This is George Green calling in.
All righty, we'll get started as soon as I get everything together here.
Okay, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing good, doing good. Okay, that's on. All right, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Edition of Texas in Color on the Tuesday morning
Yeah.
here. It is 78 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. 10 minutes, 1 minute after the hour on the 27th day of August of 2024. On the line right now, we have Mr. Green. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Ronald. Hi.
And how's everything going your way? You're not too far from us. You're in New Braunfels, right?
That is correct. Yes,
Oh,
we're in that metro.
okay, so you're not too far. Did y'all get any rain yesterday?
You got a little rain yesterday, getting some rain right now.
Oh
Thank you,
man,
Lord.
move some of that down this way. We had thunder and lightning and no rain in my neighborhood, so that happens. That happens.
You got
All
to
right.
keep on praying, Ronald. Keep
Oh
praying.
yeah, I'm gonna keep on doing that. No matter what goes on, I'm gonna keep on doing that. So let me see. I'm trying to get my all of a sudden things that want to work for me, but that's all right. That's all right. We were talking offline when I first talked to you that you are Republican, and I was telling everybody that I've been trying to get Republicans on the show here because there's two sides to every story, and we definitely want to hear the other side and let everybody know that there are good people on both sides. I almost sound like somebody else, but we have good people on both sides, and that's the beauty about it and everything. So, what are you currently doing right now?
It's George Green. I'm retired right now.
Oh, boy. So you just sitting back enjoying a lovely life, then, aren't you?
Well, I'd like to say that I am enjoying lovely life. I have signed on as a caregiver and for a friend of ours that lost all family, and she's been uh, struggling with dementia. So I am her caregiver, and that's a 24/7 deal, as it turned out to be.
Yes. Okay. I'm noticing right here that I got a question for you about the Governor One Star Foundation Board of Directors. What was that? What was the foundation for? What was it?
We essentially we answer to the governor, and we are responsible for um, divvying out funds for disasters. That's one of the programs that we had, the biggest ones. So we meet once a month by phone, and then quarterly face to face. So all the disaster funds that come in under the umbrella of the governor, we were in charge of being good stewards of those funds.
So I'll dig a little deeper in that. So when the disaster comes up with the funds, how do you go about allocating money to different organizations if that's what you do?
Yeah, we look at what their missions are, and their missions, if they coincided with the governor's missions and the foundation's mission, then we sit around a round table, and we disperse that money out, and basically it's by their missions and what they do.
So how do people go about that? With there have been quite a bit. Well, for instance, the hurricane just went through Houston. How do people
Mhm.
find out about this, and how do they apply for it?
Well, we distribute the funds out to nonprofit organizations, other nonprofit organizations. And so in the case like Houston, which we've had a lot of experience with since Harvey, it depends upon whether they were soliciting funds for housing or soliciting funds for uh, any other type of issues that they were dealing with to bring the city and the community back to par.
Okay. Well, this money that comes in, is it state generated or is it federal?
These are federal funds that come into the government.
Okay. All right. Because I never knew that even existed until I read your resume. I learn something new every time I do a show. So that was something new to me right there. But nice to know that everybody's out there that know about it. You are currently City Council District 1?
Yeah, pass. Put it that way. I
Oh,
started
pass.
in 2013.
Okay.
First elected in 2013, and then I was elected for 2 terms. Takes me on up to 2018. And during my second term, I essentially looked at a checklist that my constituents wanted done. Anything from streets, roads, signs, sidewalks. By the end of my second term, I had completed that list. I looked around and said, okay, well, I'm going to resign and I'm going to try for something else. So that's what I did.
Well, I'm looking at your list. You have done a little bit of everything right here. Out there in Nixie, Smiley, I know that area real well. Nice rural area out there. Let's switch gears. I want to talk about the climate out here today, the way things are going. Get your opinion on why are we so divided right now?
Well, that's a $1 million question. And I ponder that almost every day. Why the division? But it appears like as we quote unquote become more prosperous as a community, city, county, state, whatever, it just people just get greedier. And that's all I could see. It's like the more they get, the more they want. The more they want, the more they get. And that causes some division.
And in the middle is the middle class and lower class is catching the brunt of this. Of everybody want to be greedy. They're forgetting that we put them in office. And with that being said, we could take them out of office, but it's hard to go about that because the education is not out there. We're not letting everybody know what's going on and what goes on. Like I talked to a young lady that's running for office, and she said a lot of people didn't even know what the city council does. They just vote for them. They don't exactly know the power they have and what to do. And that's part of educating everybody to let them know if you elect somebody in this office, this is what they going to do. This is how things are done. Do you think it's a lack of education or people just bypass, hope just vote for me and that's it, and just going like it's been going on for years?
I think a lot of it is just due to a lack of education. One of my last go-arounds, I ran for the Texas State Legislature, and that was an eye-opener for me in that we'd have a series of meetings all across the county and the district, but only a handful of people came. So there was opportunity there to be educated, but I'm not sure the word got out to the people. So communication plays a role in that whole process. So therefore, we may do a dog and pony show. Excuse my farm lingo there, but we may do a dog and pony show and go all around the county, but only a few people would show.
When you said that, I was thinking about grassroots and the village. Um, we didn't have that. I'm saying my age right here. We didn't have that problem back in the um, middle '60s, going through the '70s, because we all met together and we talked about things. And like we're losing touch with that right now. We got all these deals out here you get information from that you don't even know if it's true or not. You got your TikTok, or you got your Instagram, you got your YouTube and Facebook. And to me, sometimes the information get watered down or just point blank lied about.
Well, yeah, there's a little of both. And I just come out of the city council meeting last night, and they had a presentation on about social media, and it makes it sound like they're doing a fantastic job of getting the word out about what the issues are and what they're dealing with. But there's a social media gap. There is a communication gap between who they're sending information to and other people that are just not getting it.
Yeah. So, What do you think about AI? Is that going to be a tool that will destroy people? It's not meant for that, but people are using it the wrong way. So AI is this is the really first major election we're going to have with AI being involved, and there's always been some things brought up with AI that is doing. So, what's your opinion on AI?
And by that, you're talking about artificial intelligence.
Yes.
Yeah. Everybody, the government comes out with all these acronyms. I'm like, okay, what is this one? So artificial intelligence, it's here to stay. It's not going to disappear. Along with technology, there can be so many opportunities there to misuse it. And I don't fight technology, but I'm real slow to adapt it. And so my position is that I just tread lightly when it comes to AI and where they're using it, and who they're using it on. I'm just cautious. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, you and me both.
Yeah.
We're gonna switch from AI for something that just happened in the news recently with our attorney general, where they raided 3 or 4 houses, and what they were saying that it had potential of election fraud, and they basically went in people's houses. Some guns were drawn, some weren't, and scared the mess out of some of the people there. There's quite a few people that's upset that is taking place right now before the election. With that being said, it was a blanket, from what I gather, it was a blanket warrant. They just wanted phones. They seized phones and everything. What is your opinion about that, of what happened and how it happened?
Well, I think I heard the same news as yourself. I become very concerned when governments start exercising that kind of authority. And I choose my words slowly and wisely, because that's, in my opinion, that's a serious precedent that you don't want to get started. So I'm sure LULAC and NAACP and the other people, they're actively addressing that now, and hopefully we can eliminate and prevent that from ever happening again. That's a scary move on the government's part.
And from reading everything, a lot of these people were elderly, and they didn't know what to say or do when it happened. And the first thing that came through my head was elderly abuse. That's how I looked at it. I'm looking at it at a different direction, but my opinion is they're trying to scare the mess out of people from voting. That's just my opinion on that, and we shouldn't do that.
Exactly right. our elderly are really being preyed upon. They're being misused. They're being abused, and they've worked all their life, or most of their lives, towards making this country and place what it is, and now to be abused like they are, I'm just, something needs to be done there.
Yeah. Another question about voting. Your opinion on they want to eliminate drive-through voting. They're removing some ballot precincts so it's longer for people to go to vote. And before it was no problem. How come all of a sudden it's a problem and they're revamping everything?
In my opinion, I think what we're seeing there is some old school tactics of um, how to just weaken, our voters. I mean, that's what I see happening. The old saying is, "There's nothing new under the sun." These types of tactics, in my opinion, and my reading, has been done in the past. It's just 2024.
I'm glad you said that because a lot of the things I see too, growing up in the civil rights era when we had voting, we marched peacefully, and it's like deja vu. I get in a flashback. I said, I've seen this before. Why are we going over again in 2024? It doesn't make any sense. Is it a power struggle that people are after?
Oh, definitely power struggle for sure. Control, power struggle. It's a fight over who's going to have the most toys when they're done, in my opinion.
That's so
And
like that.
now, how do we stop that? How do we minimize that?
Yeah,
And it goes right back to voting and who we put in office.
yeah. And the other thing I must say what Texas is good for is realigning the precinct lines. And I see it happen all the time, and I don't know why. What's wrong with the way it was?
Well, yes, I see it happening, bunch and bunch of times at all different levels. Uh, there again, it has to do with control. Okay, you can pretty much control who's going to vote where by redrawing those lines, district lines. And I mean, it, people that are doing it, they know the net effect of what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But they want to keep people in power, and they want to maintain their authority.
So, what have been the biggest changes that you've seen in Texas in the past 30 years?
Wow, I was born and raised here, so yeah, I spent 20 years away. I went to work for the pharmaceutical industry with Merck and Lilly, and was up in the north and the Midwest for about 20 years. Come back to Texas, and I just had an eye opener of what's going on. First off, the population change has just been mind boggling, and we're dealing with those struggles of immigration and migration that affects our numbers. Over the past 30 years, I've seen us go from, I'm going back into the 70s, 60s and 70s. When, we had Governor Dolph Briscoe, and, we had London Bain Johnson, and, we had people like that go on and on. When this area in New Braunfels was a blue area, if we want to get into the color thing, it was a Democratic stronghold. And then over the course of time, into the 80s and 90s, don't hold me on those exactly, but you saw a change in power in Austin from a Bob Bullock kind of stronghold to kind of what we have now. That shift came with the Bush family whenever they got into power, and it went from totally blue to now totally red, and now they're talking about whether it's going to turn blue again. So that's what I've seen. It's been the most notable in my years. It's been the switch from blue to red.
Yeah, because we know for the past 29 years, the Republican had a stronghold on Texas, and we know that some changes got to come somewhere down the line, and we have to learn how to work together, because the bottom line is there's enough room in Texas for everybody. And with the feud going on right now, and the bipartisan and the way things are going, it seems like we're not going to get nothing resolved.
Well, in order to get things resolved, we have to have some different players at the table, in my opinion. Otherwise, we're going to continue the same old. And I since I moved back to Texas, I've really kind of urged people to get not only politically active voting, but also run for office. That's one of the things I noticed, again, is that 30, 40 years ago, we had a pretty nice number of African Americans in our Texas legislature. And now, as you fast forward to 2024, a lot of those leaders are gone or dying and passed on, and we don't have any kind of replacement. We don't have a succession plan, and so that scares me. Even in dealing with myself, I'd love to have someone be coming in my footsteps and following through with what we're dealing with here in New Braunfels. We need that. I was the first black elected official in 168 years in this town. And we cannot go another 168 years without another black elected official.
So we need to get the youth involved, and that's going to be our key right there. Is find some youth leaders who want to step up to the plate and do that. But in order to do that, we have to educate them. And you are a prime example. If something goes on, they should be able to come to you so you can mentor them and let them know this is what it takes to get the job done.
Yes. And as you notice, I've been around a number of places in and around Texas and on throughout. I'm a teacher, an agricultural vocational instructor. We had 4-H clubs, we had FFA clubs, and I can say, even in Nixon, Texas, the kids that I taught back then, I see them on TV today. That was one of my students. Tyler, Texas, I had a group of 4-Hers, 100% high school graduation, 100% college graduated, all productive, positively employed young adults.
See, that's what we're missing. We got to get that back. All right, well, Mr. Green, I appreciate you coming on the show this morning, and I will be contacting you later on, and just to go over some things. I'm going to start talking to some of the youth around here. I've been doing it already, but we got to get them involved in whatever they can do to help, because the youth is our future, and we're going to be dependent on them.
Oh, absolutely we are. Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right, so will you take care, and thank you for dropping in.
Yes, sir, Donald. Anytime you call me, and we'll brainstorm, and we'll keep the vibes going.
Yes, sir. Okay, you take care.
Okay, you too, Donald. Thank you.
Okay. All right, bye. All right, everybody. That was George Green right here on WSAN Radio. Let's get both sides of the party, and he really talks like he want to get things done, and that's what I'm talking about. Because both sides, if you sit down there with level heads, we basically want the same thing. We just go a roundabout way in getting it. That's all there is to it. All right, this is Ronald G on Texas in Color. And we will catch everybody on the next show, which is tomorrow at 11 a.m. I'll let you know who the guest's going to be down the line. This is Ron G. Good day.